Open up your ears. Hear me loud and clear. This is a must-win game for the Indiana Fever and a must-win game for Stephanie White. As look, she was on thin ice before the Washington Mystics game. She's damn near standing in a puddle of water at this point. It is getting bad, and if you lose to the Seattle Storm today, sound the alarm, because all hell.
That's not preview chatter. That's a coach standing in a puddle on a hot wire, and the Seattle Storm is about to flip the switch. Stephanie White's seat is officially burning, and tonight in Indianapolis, one loss flips the entire narrative around this Indiana Fever season.
Okay, Stephanie White, your ass been on the grill. Listen, I know if there's anybody that's been running from social media lately, it's had to be Stephanie White. You've been getting souffled from everybody. Your antics and what you did, the way you treated Caitlin Clark in that post game, last game was disgusting, and I'm glad people have aired you out about it because it's disrespectful and unfair to Caitlin Clark.
Here's the context behind that fire. After the Washington Mystics loss, Stephanie White's post-game body language toward Caitlin Clark turned into a 48-hour viral discourse. Fans dissected the eye rolls. Analysts replayed the dismissive answers. Former players weighed in on what looked like open frustration directed at the franchise's centerpiece. And then White went quiet on social media. That silence speaks volumes when your team's leading scorer just dropped a fourth quarter that single-handedly kept you in that game.
Doesn't stop there. It does not need to stop with Stephanie White. Amber Cook's ass needs to be on the grill. Kelly Crosskoff needs to be on the grill, getting cooked up as well. It is as simple as that. Now, when it comes to this game, man,
this is the layer casual fans skip. Amber Cook, the team president. Kelly Crosskoff, the senior basketball executive who built this roster. They drafted the supporting cast. They approved the coaching hire. They signed off on every veteran addition this offseason. If Stephanie White is failing on the bench, the failure has front office fingerprints all over it. Accountability does not stop at the head coach. It runs straight up the building.
Be honest with you, Kelsey Mitchell, before I even get to my keys, Kelsey Mitchell, can your ass do something besides just jack up a bunch of shots today? Can you do something besides jack up a bunch of shots today? We know you can score. Bro, it's been 2 straight games where you have not recorded an assist or a rebound. That is disgusting. That is embarrassing. It is unacceptable for you to not do anything but jack up shots. I'm telling you that right now.
Now the Kelsey Mitchell problem, and it is a problem. 2 straight games, 0 assists, 0 rebounds. For a starting guard making real WNBA money, those box scores aren't just bad, they are statistically alarming. You can be a primary scorer and still touch the glass once. You can be ball dominant and still find a cutter for a single assist. Going completely empty in both categories 2 games running tells you something is structurally broken in how this offense functions when Caitlin Clark isn't the one creating.
His game. Number 1, it ain't even Stephanie White, get out the way. Damn her. The number 1 key to the Indiana Fever winning this game is Caitlin Clark going rogue. Go rogue again like you did in that fourth quarter. I don't give a damn if you missing the shots. Play your game, be aggressive, shoot your shots, shoot your logo threes, throw your full court passes. Do you, Caitlin. You the reason all these people are here. You the reason everybody's getting.
There's the thesis. Caitlin Clark going rogue. And before anyone dismisses that as basketball talk radio, understand what it actually means in the X's and O's of this team. Stephanie White has been running an offense that uses Aaliyah Boston as a high post hub and Kelsey Mitchell as a primary scoring guard, with Clark slotted in as a secondary creator. That is the design. Now subtract Aaliyah Boston, who is unavailable tonight, and that design collapses on contact. What you have left is a coach asking the best offensive player in her generation to play decoy while the second scoring option chucks contested jumpers. That isn't strategy. That's identity confusion at the worst possible time.
For a reason. It's like Allen Iverson was the answer. Caitlin Clark is the reason. She's the reason for all of this. Go rogue. To hell with Stephanie White. To hell with them running the offense with this fake hub when Aaliyah Boston, but she won't even be there, and running the offense through Kelsey Mitchell. This whole equal opportunity system. This ain't no equal opportunity system. This is the Clark Show. Caitlin Clark is the biggest key to the Indiana Fever winning this game versus the Seattle Storm. And the way that happens is by Caitlin Clark going rogue.
The reason. That phrase is doing heavy lifting, and it deserves unpacking. Caitlin Clark is the reason this franchise sold out road games last season. The reason ESPN started slotting Indiana into primetime windows previously reserved for the Aces and the Liberty. The reason expansion conversations accelerated by entire calendar years. The reason rookie scale debates dominated the offseason news cycle. When your franchise has a player whose presence literally rewrites television contracts, the question is not whether to build the offense around her. The question is how anyone inside that building still thinks there is another option worth considering.
To this game. God damn it, Monique Billings, I love the effort you played with. I love the energy. I loved all of that. And this don't just go for you. This go for everybody. Can we make layups? Can we make some layups, please? Kelsey Mitchell, you missed a crucial layup. Monique Billings, you was missing layups. We saw Michaela Timpson miss layups. We saw everybody miss layups. Everybody, including Caitlin Clark, everybody needs to make their layups. It is a simple thing. Everybody's making good money. Make your damn layups.
And the layups. Monique Billings blowing finishes at the rim. Michaela Timpson missing high percentage looks. Kelsey Mitchell short-arming a contested but makeable layup in a tied game. In the WNBA, where possession value is brutally compressed and pace is slower than the men's game, every missed layup operates as a 4-point swing. You miss the deuce, your opponent rebounds, runs in transition, gets a clean 3. That's the math nobody wants to put on a whiteboard. Indiana has been losing winnable games during this stretch because of conversions a 7th grade varsity post is supposed to bank in without thinking. It is not an effort issue, it is execution. And execution is precisely what coaching exists to fix.
The defensive end of the floor. We got to stay in front of ball handlers, okay? Because if we want to play fast, you can't play that fast if you're taking the ball out of the net every play. We got to play some sort of defense, okay? Kelsey Mitchell, I know you just want to jack up a bunch of shots. You need to play some defense so that we can actually get out in transition. Listen, nobody last game could stop Sonia Citron. It didn't matter if Sophie Cunningham was on her, Lexi Hall, 6 Lexis was out there hustling. She couldn't do nothing with the girl. I need them to step up and show that they can actually defend players.
The defensive piece is where this Seattle matchup turns tactical. Without Dominique Malonga, the Storm rookie who has been their paint anchor and rebounding presence on the second unit, Seattle is going to lean almost entirely on perimeter creation tonight. That means their guards get the touches. Their wings get the volume. And Indiana's perimeter defenders, primarily Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull, are going to be tested on an island. Last game, the entire Fever defense had no answer for Sonia Citron of the Mystics. Citron got downhill whenever she wanted, finished through contact, pulled help defenders out of position, and created open looks for shooters off her drives. If that same film plays out tonight, you cannot pace your way out of it. You take the ball out of the net every other trip, and the transition offense the Fever desperately need to weaponize Caitlin Clark's pull-up range simply never gets going. Defense is the bridge between Indiana's identity and Indiana's actual scoreboard production. They cross it tonight or they don't, and the post-game conversation writes itself either way.
The number 4 thing, Stephanie White, when we are on offense, zip your lips and that's it. Just sit there, zip your lips, and let Caitlin Clark do what she's gonna do. When they go on defense, do whatever you want. I don't really care, whatever. But when we are on offense, you zip your lips and don't say. That is the 4th key. The 5th key is Kelsey Mitchell pass the goddamn ball sometime. I'm just gonna keep it real. Kelsey Mitchell, come up off the ball every once in a while. You don't have to shoot every time you touch it. Those are my 5 keys for the Indiana Fever. Keys.
Let me bring this all the way home. Because what we are watching in Indianapolis right now is bigger than a single regular season game against the Seattle Storm. What's actually happening is a structural fight for control of a franchise. On one side, you have a coaching staff and front office that built an offensive system before Caitlin Clark arrived and have been visibly reluctant to redesign that system around her. They have an offensive hierarchy. They have a defensive scheme. They have a media protocol. And they keep trying to fit the most disruptive offensive player of her generation into a structure built for an entirely different roster. On the other side, you have the player herself, the one whose name moves television ratings by multiples, the one whose three-point gravity bends defenses before she crosses half court, the one who just dropped a fourth quarter against quality competition that reminded every viewer in the country exactly why she is the most important player in this league. And around that player you have a fan base, a league office, a broadcast partner, and a merchandise division all screaming the same thing at this organization. Get out of her way, let her cook, build the system around the gravity instead of against it. That tension is what every uncomfortable Stephanie White post-game has actually been about. It is what every Kelsey Mitchell shot selection question is asking underneath the surface. It is why Amber Cook and Kelly Crosskop's names started trending in Indiana fan circles even though most casual viewers cannot name a single front office executive in this league. It is why the Fever locker room has been the most watched subplot in the WNBA all season. And it is why tonight's game against Seattle carries implications far beyond the win-loss column. Here's the math nobody at the team facility wants to say out loud. The Seattle Storm are walking into this game without their leading rebounder and shot blocker. They're starting a rotation that, on paper, the Indiana Fever should beat by double digits even without Aaliyah Boston. If Indiana drops this game, the conversation about Stephanie White's job security stops being speculation and starts being a timeline. If Indiana wins, but wins ugly, with Caitlin Clark putting up another 28-shot performance to drag her teammates across the finish line, the underlying problem does not get solved. It just gets papered over for another 72 hours until the next opponent exposes the same fault lines. There is a third scenario though, and it is the one Fever fans should actually be hoping for. Stephanie White hands Caitlin Clark the keys. Not as a fourth-quarter emergency. Not as a gimmick. As a stated public, full-time offensive philosophy. Clark initiates. Clark distributes. Clark gets the volume she earned in college, the volume she earned during her rookie year, the volume she earned in last season's playoff run. The role players play off her. Kelsey Mitchell becomes a movement shooter instead of a primary ball handler, which is the role her skill set was always actually built for. Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull space the floor. The bigs set screens and roll hard. That is the team that wins a championship. That is the team Indiana drafted on lottery night in 2024. And that is the team this organization has refused to consistently put on the floor for entire stretches of this season. If you have been watching the WNBA this year, and something feels off about how the Fever are being coached, you are not imagining it. The box scores back it up. The body language confirms it. The post-game press conferences keep telling on themselves. The fact that Caitlin Clark's most productive minutes correlate directly with the possessions she ignores the play call says it loudest of all. This is not a Caitlin Clark problem. It is a coaching problem, a roster construction problem, and an organizational accountability problem. And all three of those problems are converging tonight on a national broadcast against a Seattle Storm team that is genuinely begging to be beaten. So tell me where you actually stand. Is Stephanie White's job on the line if Indiana drops this game? Or does the front office shield her through the rest of the regular season because firing her now would be an admission their own decision-making was the original mistake? Should Caitlin Clark be running this offense full-time starting tonight? Or do you still believe in the equal opportunity hub system Stephanie White keeps publicly defending? And how many more empty box scores does Kelsey Mitchell get before someone inside that building tells her the truth about her role on a Caitlin Clark-led basketball team? Drop your answers in the comments. Be specific, name the names, pick the side. And if you want to watch this game break in real time, the live stream goes up tonight. Pull up, bring your receipts. Let's see exactly what this Indiana Fever team actually is when the lights come on and there is nowhere left to hide.